Are we ready?
Are you ready?
Are we ready?
Your masters.
It's WrestleMania season, and if there's one thing you know about Uno and I, one of the reasons why we're even friends in the first place, or how we got close in the first place, was because of wrestling. And to celebrate WrestleMania season, we'll be watching WrestleMania Night 1 live, not in Las Vegas, but in BGC. Tama ba,
I'm so
BGC?
yes.
I'm very
We are
excited to be
we are a
sharing.
week.
Mm,
Sorry, go ahead.
as of filming this, we are a week away from WrestleMania Night 1. And we wanted to spend these next episodes of the Sync Pod to give our predictions on how WrestleMania's Night 1 and Night 2 will go out. And maybe for the wrestling fans out there, you might also want to give your opinions on what you think will happen. So, shall we begin?
Let's go.
Okay. First, in our match card, we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Feeling ko this is one of the best built storylines ng WrestleMania season. Kasi nagsimula to like last year. Diba? They had a 3-on-3 tag team match versus Damage Control last year. So it went the distance, diba?
Mm-hmm.
And even the story development between Naomi, Jade, and Bianca. It was so well built. And feeling ko honestly, this is the most interesting character na meron si Naomi for sa buong history niya sa WWE. My prediction, feeling ko for sure, Jade Cargill's gonna win. Ain't no way they're gonna bring in the superpower that is Jade Cargill and have her lose her first singles match in WrestleMania. And Naomi can take the lose. She's a good heel. I don't think it's gonna affect her place in the card that much. So Jade is gonna win for me.
I since the beginning of the development of this match, I always predicted it to be a squash match. Kasi if you compare the power scaling of Jade Cargill and Naomi, they're not level. They're not on par. However, dito tayo nagkakaiba kasi I think Naomi will win against Jade Cargill not because of a clean victory pero 'di ba
Roll up.
I have mentioned could be a roll up, it could be your classic Eddie Guerrero, referee's knockdown, Jade Cargill gets hit with a chair. I think, or maybe, diba, they'd introduce a new wrestler. Maybe Paige will make her return, or maybe Becky Lynch, or
Mercedes
maybe
will pay, bro.
oh, what is Mercedes Fernando doing in the WWE ring or something. So that's I think that's what's gonna happen because if Jade Cargill winning against Naomi is so very obvious, and it could happen, but would it draw a big reaction from the crowd? No. So if I were to book this match, I'd see a twist happening because this is bound to be a squash match. There should be more out of it than what we see. So, ayan. So you have Jade Cargill, I have Naomi. No? Okay. So next up in
And
our
first
card,
first match and we got a disagreement, bro.
kaya nga. Okay, here.
Ah, man. So I think it's so unfair na walang SmackDown WWE Championship match sa WrestleMania. Kasi that is the one tag team championship that should be at WrestleMania. This
The
match could happen at Monday Night Raw. There's no build, there's nothing. I don't get anything from this match. I think New Day is gonna win, and that's just you know. But I'm not interested. I'm not invested in this match. They did not do a good job na i-convince yung mga viewers that this should be a match that they would want to see. I just don't get that.
this could once again develop into a larger story because 'di ba usually si Big E nag-appear sa big WWE events as like a caster or something. So he might be involved in some way dito. Kasi as you said, this is so stale. This nothing has been put. No seasoning has been put in this turkey. Not at
Oh,
all.
story. There's not a single story, bro.
There is a story naman. Meron naman. Between the two of them, wala. Pero, the New Day has this story na, we want to prove ourselves, blah, blah, blah. We don't need Big E.
Everyone, everyone has a story. Everyone has their own story, diba? That's given.
Ayun na nga.
But there's no
That's the
story
only
between.
thing, that's the only thing we can take from this match.
Yeah,
Their individual stories. So, I'm gonna say the New Day loses. Two disagreements immediately. Kasi I'm the type of guy who will think about the most crazy stuff that could happen. And yes, I think the New Day will get screwed. Hopefully by Big E. If that doesn't happen, then there's no way New Day will lose. Kasi the spotlight's on them now. They've had somewhat of a momentum with their heel run. Sobrang minimal nung momentum nila. Pero I like to see them once again on top of the tag team division as this new persona, as this heel persona na against the fans. I want to see something interesting happen with them. And them
so I like
losing, huh?
I like the idea na may Big E involvement. Kasi at
Mm.
least merong susunod na step
Yun nga
para sa
eh.
New Day.
Yun nga.
Kasi if they lose, then what's the point of their heel turn, di ba? There's
Exactly.
no
There's
steam
nothing.
anymore.
All their momentum is stopped, diba?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm taking the New Day as losers because of Big E. That's just it. So
Okay.
next match we have man, I am pissed. Two WrestleManias in a row and they don't give Chad Gable a match. And then this guy, this El Grande Americano, gets a match. He's been in the company for barely a month. And then he has a match? What do you think about it? What do you think about it?
Man, when they gave Sammy the spotlight last Mania, I'm happy for Sammy.
Mm, mm,
That's because he's a good baby face.
mm,
But you gotta feel bad for Chad Gable.
mm.
And now it's happening again. No words.
Likewise, but I hope Ray wins. Kasi who's this El Grande America? If I'm really hoping that somehow, some way, even though it's very barely possible, na it's actually Chad Gable underneath that mask. Only then would I root for El Grande Americano. But like, other than that, why would Ray lose? Why would Ray put over this random luchador who just comes up to the scene without any charisma or whatever? He doesn't even cut out a good promo,
You know
anything.
what they should do?
Yeah, what should they do?
They should make this a mask versus mask match.
Mask versus mask. Interesting. Do we still have time to make that stipulation? Meron pa namang one
Why
week.
not? Bro,
We
it
still have a
didn't
week.
take them one episode to make this match, bro.
Bagay
I'm
sa
sure they
bagay.
can they can make they can announce it in social media. I don't
They
care.
can up the stakes, diba,
Make
a
the
bit.
match. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hope. Because
Well, I think in ring wise, for sure, this is gonna be a very good match. In ring wise, for sure.
kasi I do like Ray's high flying abilities. I like El Grande Americanos, somewhat of an Olympian. It's a very reminiscent of Kurt Angle with a mixture of lucha style. So it's gonna be nice to watch. But then again, why couldn't they have Chad Gable do this instead? Seriously, that's just at least we
Who
agree
do,
on something. Diba?
who do you think is gonna win?
I think Ray's gonna win because I don't really see the point of WWE pushing this El Grande Americano guy out of the blue. Like, are they gonna pull off another Fandango where they just make him beat one of the
Why not?
legends of WWE? The thing is with Fandango, the reason why he got over was because of his charisma. I don't see any of that from this guy. I'm telling you, if they put Chad Gable in this spot, then I'd understand. Then I'd say, okay, he deserves to win against Rey Mysterio. Who's this guy? That's the thing. Who is this guy? If we knew who he was, and if we actually understood the man behind the mask, then I'd support him fully, like fully. Kaso hindi. Who is this guy? No, we don't know him. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to go with Ray. Who,
Honestly, I I don't have a prediction kung sino mananalo. I know what I want from this match. I want to know who El Grande Americano is. I want him to get his mask taken off by Rey Mysterio at this match.
I
With all
actually
due respect to the luchadors.
I I agree with you in that point, in the point where much rather know who he is rather than know what the outcome of the match is. Because either party could win, but if he doesn't get unmasked, then there's nothing that's gonna happen. Like I'm not gonna get my fill from this storyline or whatever WWE is trying to do with this El Grande America. Let's not give him the attention he doesn't deserve. Let's just go on to the next match. I don't really like this guy. Okay, now this match I am interested in. I like this. What?
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Okay, what am I gonna say?
You're gonna say Diego Fatu is gonna lose because of Solo Sikoa.
No, that wasn't on my mind.
Because for me, I feel like there's probably gonna be a Solo Sikoa run-in with this match. He may end up costing Jacob Fatu the championship. That's my prediction. I feel like LA is gonna win, and they're gonna use it as a stepping stone for the Solo and Jacob rivalry because it needs to happen sooner or later.
One thing that I when I look into the future kasi and what the championship will do for them in the future, if LA Knight wins, who else would challenge him in the mid card title? I can't really think of any more prospects for it. So what I think is the best thing to do is have Jacob win, and then LA Knight could be the next challenger for the undisputed title, be it against John Cena or Cody Rhodes, whoever wins in night 2. Because I think LA Knight has achieved that level of star power na. He's not yet that established superstar with the likes of John Cena, Cody Rhodes, but he has solidified his place in the company as one of those guys who
The
they can
champion.
reliably call on.
I like the idea kasi if Jacob wins, I feel like he's gonna elevate the US championship.
Exactly. There's like
Because bro, they're sa debut ni Jacob Fatu, they are presenting him as this unstoppable monster. I remember him going toe to toe with Randy Orton and walang magawa si Randy sa kanya.
yes.
So I feel like
And
he's gonna elevate the championship.
and storyline wise there's a lot more options. So if they're gonna make an angle with Solo and Jacob, it's gonna be as Jacob as the championship. So at least if they ever feud, there'd be stakes for it. So that's
Mhm.
my take. What else? There's also there's also a part of me that says Jacob, I mean LA Knight could possibly win, but then again, remember nung naglaban ba sila ni AJ Styles last year? Was it for a championship or no?
No, no, it's just
No.
1v1.
Uh,
LA won.
yeah. So nothing really happened after that. It's just nothing. So I think LA is gonna have to, and Jacob's such a pleasure to watch. I love yung type ng wrestlers, performers na ganito na like the Braun Breaker, Jacob Fatu, big but athletic. It would be so fun to watch this guy be a champion. So I'm taking Jacob here.
Agile.
Huh?
He's so agile. He's so
Very,
agile.
very agile. I just hope he doesn't hurt himself again.
Yeah. Yung moonsault niya, bro, it's a thing of beauty. And it's so good kasi you can tell like wrestler wise na hindi nasasaktan yung guy who's taking the move.
Yeah, yeah,
Kasi
yeah.
yung pressure na pupunta sa knees ni Jacob.
It's still scary though. Someone that big doesn't isn't supposed to move like that. It's like seeing Brock Lesnar doing that shooting star press.
No
It's
mania.
it's it's ugh. Just take care, Jacob. You have a bright career ahead of you. So who do you have dito? LA or Jacob? LA?
I think LA's still gonna win.
LA still gonna. Okay. I like this, ha? Iba yung ano natin, views natin. This one.
This is so difficult to predict kasi naging sobrang shoot style niya dahil sa last week's interaction.
Mm.
With that said, dahil dun sa shoot style promo nila, naging mas tumaas yung hype ng match para sa akin. Mas na-invest yung attention ko para sa match na to dahil sa promo nila last week. It feels more personal, so feeling ko mas unpredictable yung mangyayari. And mas may ano eh, mas mayroong unpredictability dun sa match dahil dun sa promo nila last week. I'm not sure who's gonna win. Who do you think?
It's hard for me to say, even though I don't want it to happen. It's hard for me to see Charlotte lose, especially how much they've been writing her as this dominant figure na bumalik, nanalo Royal Rumble, shows up every other week, just says a few words. I feel like that's what they're gonna do, and I hope I'm wrong kasi I really hate her dominant character and how she can just go in anytime, get a championship match, and then win. It's always been the pattern for her. Whenever she has this opportunity to win, 9 times out of 10, she will win. I hope that
What's the
doesn't
say?
happen anymore. Kasi,
You know the say
what?
death, taxes, and Charlotte winning the
Charlotte
championship.
wins. It's like the three inevitable things. And
She's a
remember,
14-time champion, bro.
ayun na nga eh. And
Randy's 14. Randy's been in the company for more than 20 years.
exactly,
Charlotte debuted like 2015, 2016.
exactly. And I hope in this Triple H era that they'll realize that Charlotte, even though she's a tremendous performer, which she is, and I'll give her credit for it, that doesn't justify her winning as much as she is, as much as she has. So I really hope they put Tiffany over. Might as well give the championship to the future. I think Tiffany's doing a great job being champion. I think she can still pull off amazing feuds with her championship. Whereas Charlotte, what's she gonna do? Show up every month? Woo! Uh,
My my take is this. For the future, I think I would like Tiffany to win. Pero I don't like her reign, bro. I just feel like it's been lackluster. Nothing special about her reign so far.
mm,
When was the last time that you remember that she defended the championship?
I don't know.
Exactly. Because it's not a very memorable reign. The only thing that I remember about yung championship niya is when she
When she
cashed
cashed
in
in,
kay Naya and won the championship.
which was a
I
big
like the
moment.
moment. Yeah. Pero what did they do with the championship afterwards, di ba? Parang there's nothing about it.
The
So
thing is, oh, sige, go.
I feel like for the sake of the championship, give it to Charlotte. But for the sake of the future, give it to Tiffany.
The thing is, it's really hard for her to have a good reign, considering her first rival or one of I'm not sure kasi if she fought anyone else before Charlotte for the championship. Pero kasi this is like her first actual rivalry for the championship, and Charlotte is actually pulling her down kasi they only met 2 weeks ago or the other week, and then they
Oh,
met and then they met last week.
after Royal Rumble. It
Oh,
started after.
pero did they meet weekly? Did they do stuff
Yeah,
maybe?
dude, they did the good brawl. Parang si Tiffany, she jumped off the stage towards the sea of the bodyguards in Charlotte. That I liked. I like that segment.
Okay, so may ganun pala.
It
Kasi
started to derail nung yung interview before last week's promo. That's when Charlotte started shooting, and then lalo na last week they said na Charlotte started the shoot fight style promo. So Tiffany was forced to adapt, and I
and
think she came off as the winner dun sa battle last week.
the way she clapped back was just
Ended
immaculate.
Charlotte's career, bro.
I don't think it ended Charlotte's career, pero it certainly jeopardized it at least. Kasi, wow. It's like she became the voice of the voiceless with how she spoke for what we think. I mean, I don't want to say too much. So I have Tiffany winning out of pure not hatred, pero I don't support Charlotte
Like
winning at this point in time. How about you?
I think Charlotte wins it all.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I want Tiff to win, diba? But I
mm,
still think Charlotte's gonna win.
I hate this. I hate this so. Okay, change topic. Here we go. First of all, ang ganda ng card ni Jey Uso. I love that. Ang
Best
ganda.
one.
That's a nice card. The thing is, the my predictions on this have implications on my prediction for the undisputed title. And we've talked about this. We cannot have it's very unlikely to have both heels win. It's very unlikely
Mhm.
to have both faces win. Although last year both faces won. So
No. Oh wait, kay
Bailey and
Damien Priest.
Bailey I who? Damien and Cody.
Cody.
Uh
Yeah.
so what I think is gonna happen here is there's not gonna be any funny business, no interruptions.
It's a Gunter match.
It's gonna be a Gunther match. Pero it's gonna be like Sammy versus Gunther, where in the like final 2 minutes,
No
Jay
stretch. Yeah.
suddenly starts passing out. Yeet, 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 and then he suddenly his head suddenly becomes 20% harder. Hits Gunther with the hardest headbutt in the world. Does three super kicks. Lands the lands
Spear.
the does this the
Usos.
splash. Uh,
One, two,
one,
three.
two, three. I think
So
that's the way the story is going. Kasi you can't let someone who assaulted his twin. Ay, grabe yun. Okay. If you're gonna have that guy win, that's just no, no, no.
I'm thankful dun sa involvement ni Jimmy Uso.
Uh,
Kasi they really brought life into the feud.
yeah, this feud was dead. This feud was dead.
So you think Jay's gonna win?
Yeah,
I think Jay's gonna win too. Kasi they did not give the Royal Rumble win to Jay just for him to lose at WrestleMania.
that's true.
I feel like that's gonna be a disservice. Uh, I'm not. I'm not gonna worry about nanalo yung heel, nanalo yung face sa ganito. I'm not gonna worry about that. I mas gusto ko na they look at it individually imbis na as a whole. So I think Jay is gonna win for sure.
At
And
saka,
it's kind of sad kasi Gunter is known for his long reigns, di ba? He elevated the IC championship, pero when it comes to the World Heavyweight Championship,
he
I
hasn't
don't
done
feel like
much.
yeah, I don't feel like he reached his potential at all.
Yeah,
So it's sad to see him lose the championship, but I'm sure he has more reigns in the future. But for now, Jay Uso deserves and needs the win.
it makes more sense then kasi for Jay to win. Like what you said. Kasi Gunther's already established. He's proven to be a threat even without a championship. So
Yeah,
I think putting it on Jay would just make the whole situation of the Raw roster a little better in the sense na at least we can have a champion who's not as dominant as Gunther. Because you just know it's like Charlotte in a sense na Gunther wins law.
yeah, true.
Diba? You had Chad Gable fight his way against Gunther. Gunther wins law. And it's like it never stops. And yeah, so I think it's nice to have Gunther
You
give the
think
title
opener to?
to Jay. Huh?
You think opener to?
I don't
I feel
think
like that's
so. I think this would be like third or second to the last. Maybe third to the last.
me. I feel like that would be a disservice to the World Championship.
Ano kasi, I think usually when they book matches, so we have the main event, the
Right.
triple threat match, and then before that, they usually put a women's match before that, and then the next is this one. So that's what I'm thinking. I hope I'm wrong, pero that's how I see it. So
Okay.
okay.
Ah, there's so
Oh,
much to unpack, bro.
ah.
This is like years, years of. storytelling rolled into one match.
So I'm gonna make mine short.
Okay.
I don't know who's gonna win. I don't necessarily care who's gonna win. I just want to enjoy it. I don't want to overthink it too much. Although I'm very concerned with what the Paul Heyman Seth Rollins favor is. In my opinion, it makes no sense, and I know a lot of people agree with that. But then again, I don't really know. I want Punk to win because
Mm,
personally, Punk's my favorite amongst the three. But
okay.
that doesn't mean it's the one that makes the most sense. It doesn't mean it's the one that's gonna draw the best reaction. It's just my personal preference because this storyline has been so neutral in the sense that there's no clear face or heel in this storyline. So there's really no one who's favored by the fans. It really depends on who you actually want to win. And that's why I said I want to enjoy it for what it is because it's what it is. It's just a good match. It's just gonna be them busting their butts out.
Hmm.
I like the Paul Heyman angle. Only concern is I hope they don't mess it up to the point where he destroys his relationship with his tribal chief or his relation with his best friend. And I hope that doesn't happen. And if it does happen, I hope they do it in a way that makes sense. So far, it's not making any sense. Just because Seth refused to stomp Heyman's face doesn't give Heyman
Now
the
you owe
favor
me a
he's owed.
favor.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just me. So that's my take on it. I just want to enjoy the ride. So how about you?
I want one thing to happen.
Roman wins, lol.
Did you know na ang favorite wrestler ko right
Hmm,
now is Seth Rollins?
not really.
Kasi, di ba, at first it was Randy Orton, and then now I feel like the second coming is Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi feeling ko, out of these three, unang-una, he has the best in-ring ability.
Mm.
And feeling ko, he is able to put over any character na ibigay mo sa kanya.
Mm.
Roman couldn't do that.
Mm.
CM Punk could probably do that.
Mm.
So I want Seth to have the next step of his character. And he's gonna do that by turning heel in this match.
How
That's
does
what I
he
want.
turn heel though? Dahil kay Paul
I don't
Heyman?
know, maybe, but listen, if Paul Heyman is gonna actually have a favor para kay Seth Rollins, that's so out of character para kay Paul. Kasi Paul Heyman is smart.
Yeah, I
He's a
know.
smart guy. If he really, if he really thinks na merong favor, he owes a favor kay Seth Rollins, then he's dumb. Diba?
This is
It's so out of
why this is why all of this is making no sense so far. Kasi it's not. Paul doesn't owe Seth Rollins anything.
character. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
With that said, I don't care about that. I want Seth to turn heel, and he's gonna be the biggest heel of the roster. Kasi he's going against the two biggest faces, baby faces, ng roster ngayon. So if he turns heel, he's gonna have so much heat.
You think Roman's a bigger babyface than Cody now?
I mean, I didn't say that, but he's one of the biggest baby faces, diba?
That's about it.
It's Roman Reigns, bro.
He's wrong. He's the tribal
And
chief.
eto kasi, like si Seth Rollins, even though he is at the point na he's always cheered, you can
Mm-hmm.
tell na the people favor Punk over him
Yeah.
nung feud niya.
Yeah. So yeah.
And he didn't turn heel for that, which is okay, 'di ba? Pero for WrestleMania, 'di ba? If there's one place to turn heel, it's WrestleMania. So have Seth turn heel, maybe give him the win, maybe. Who do you
Okay.
think is gonna win?
I don't know who's gonna win. I just want Punk to win.
You want Punk to win.
Hmm. But I'm fine with.
I want Seth to win
I'm
now.
okay
Now that
with either Punk or Seth winning. Just don't give Roman the win. He doesn't need it. He does not need it.
I feel like Roman is gonna have I feel like a loss para kay Roman is gonna mean more than a win, 'di ba? Because he's
Mm,
so used to winning. So
mm.
kapag natalo siya, it's gonna be better for his character development.
To be completely honest, the only reason, in my opinion, why Roman's involved in this story is because of Paul Heyman. They could have this feud as Seth and CM Punk. Pero since they've already done that and they want to make things more interesting, they add Roman. But the thing is,
Mhm.
it's not Roman who's interesting in the match, it's his wise man. Yun yung nangyari. Is the one thing that got me invested dito lalo was Paul Heyman's involvement, not Roman. Kasi Roman and Seth, they've
Yeah,
had their
pero
beef for
let's
years.
let's not discredit that though, 'di
Oo
ba?
naman, I'm
Even
not.
even even last year, Roman lost the championship dahil sa hatred niya kay Seth Rollins.
Yeah, yeah, I know. That's
I feel
why.
like
It runs deep na nga. Pero I just feel like the main
because
thing
it's you
highlighted.
finally
Oh,
versus Punk.
this is this is the main parang aspect of Roman Reigns that's focused upon. It's not the long rivalry with Seth. No, it's more about
That's why
Wiseman.
that's why it's such a shame na Punk got injured last year in
Oh,
Rumble.
but you know
Kasi they
what?
would have
Ano?
for sure made. Yeah, di
Oh,
ba sabi ni Triple H, they had Seth versus Punk for Mania 40 last year.
pero ano? Turned out well. Everything
Yeah.
turned out well. I wouldn't have thought of any better outcome for what they did. And I think this is a better main event than potentially Seth versus CM Punk.
Oh
I
no.
mean for me kasi the build up to this and especially revealing na magme-main event na si CM Punk ng night 1. It was
I watched
very
that so many
yeah, we
times.
watched it a lot. It was very emotional.
I think though na in a perfect world, if we're just talking about this Mania match, I would have Seth versus Punk, no Roman. Kasi yung animosity nila, the personal, yung real na hatred nila between the two is so real, diba? If there's ever a match that deserves to be on Mania, it's Punk versus Seth.
Ayun na nga.
And they added Roman, yeah, kasi there is still a connection, which is good. It's good now we have this, so maraming stories na nag-intertwine.
It's
Pero if
basically
world, it's still Seth versus Punk ang mas maganda.
it's basically Steiner math na when they were one on one, they each had a 50% chance of winning. Then you put Roman Reigns, now they have a 33.3% chance, but he has the wise man, but Punk got the wise man. So now
And now
Punk
maybe Seth is gonna get the wise man.
Oh, so now the probabilities are effed up because who knows what's gonna happen. Kaya I just wanna watch it. If it were Seth versus Punk, I'd predict Seth to win. Kasi Punk's been on this roll of winning everything. He won his
Wait,
feud
who'd you
against
predict?
huh?
Who'd you predict? Who's gonna win? Punk versus Seth?
If Punk versus Seth was the match without
Mm.
Roman, without the wise man thing, I think Seth would win. Because Seth's been on a losing streak in WrestleMania.
Sobra.
While Punk has been on a roll. He's won his feud against Drew McIntyre. He's won his fair share of matches. He's won against Seth sa one time, di ba
Netflix.
naglaban sila, Netflix
Netflix debut.
debut.
And
So,
Seth beat Punk, pero because of Roman. Doon sa Steel
oh,
Cage.
so if there's one thing that would happen, it would be Seth winning. He deserves it din naman kasi. I don't like Seth as much as you do, pero I respect him enough to the
No, I
point na
love Seth.
ayun na nga.
Seth's like my favorite.
I don't have that same sentiment towards Seth
Mm.
as you. So that's my pick. So that's our night one predictions. Mm, I'm because of this excited na akong pumunta sa what's the name? Ano? Skinny
Skinny Mike's
Mike's.
or
I'm very
BGC.
excited. So yeah,
Presented by Wrestling Podcast, right?
and soon to be presented by the Sync Pod. Yun yun. So catch you on part 2.